Hey guys, what's up? Corey on Moss Street Gallery. So today I want to talk about pricing your artwork. What kind of price should I put on the paintings I'm trying to sell? And how to select the right price so it will sell. And I know it's a tough call. How do I get in that sweet spot where I sell it at a good price and then I get the value I want for it? And I'm going to be focusing on oil paintings because that's kind of what I do and I know how to price my own work. So I'm going to be talking about three things. I always laugh when I do that because I learned that from Gordon Ramsay. Every time he does three on his show, he'll do three things. So now I'm doing it. Oh, I love me some Gordon Ramsay though. Oh, Chef Ramsay. Anyway, three things we're going to talk about. First thing, and it's the most important, is the market value for your paintings. What's the market value? And explain what that means. Second thing, the size of your canvas, whether it's big or large, that will dictate the price. And the third thing is the difficulty of painting it. How hard is it to paint this particular work? And what the subject is. We're going to put those two together. Difficulty and what is actually the subject that I'm painting that people want to buy. Those are the three things. Okay, so let's talk about that first thing, market value. What is the market value for your artwork? And I know what you're thinking, man, I put my blood, I put my sweat, I put my tears, I put my soul into my painting. It's got to be worth millions, right? Well, I don't doubt the first part of that. Most artists, they put everything they have into their artwork. It's a part of them, so to speak. But the second part, the value, well, I'm sorry to say, it's not always going to be as high as you think it is. And I will warn you, be careful of listening to family and friends sometimes. They say, oh, you got to mark your prices up super high. They're going to love your artwork because they're your family, they're your friends, but it might not be where you're going to be able to sell that painting for. So you have to be realistic. You got to get real. If I've never sold a painting before, you're going to have to keep your prices in the low range. I remember the first painting I sold, it was $200 and I felt great. That was fantastic, $200 for a painting. So I think any artist, you're going to have to begin in that range, either $100 or $200. And you have to work up the ladder, so to speak. You have to kind of put yourself out there and known before you can jack your prices up. You have to ask yourself, what is the market value right now for my painting? You got to get real with it. If you're selling paintings, you have a price on it for $2,000 or $3,000, but you're not selling it, well, guess what? You have to adjust the price to the market value. I always say artwork, it's worth, how much is it worth? It's worth what people are willing to pay you for it. So that's the market value of it. Let's talk about that second thing, the size of the canvas. That's kind of an easy one. That'll help dictate the price of your painting. If it's a big canvas, well, bigger canvases cost more money, so you're going to sell it for more money. And if it's a small, tiny canvas, it may sell for less. And it's kind of tough to go by because some people always just paint small canvases and their paintings may be, pretty valuable. But I always say for myself, I do like mid-range paintings to large canvases. And I do a lot of middle-sized canvases, so I kind of know what my price is going to be for it. Small canvases, really small ones, I really have trouble with. It's kind of not my thing, but that's kind of an easy thing. The bigger the canvas, I think the more you can charge for it. The smaller the canvas, you might bring your price down a little bit. Okay, let's talk about that third and final point. The difficulty of the painting and also the subject of what you're painting will help dictate what the price should be. Let's face it, if it's something really hard to paint, it's a hard painting you're working on, you can charge more. Portraits are very difficult to do. You have to get a likeness of what you're painting. One example is this painting of these vineyards I did. Those rows of grapevines killed me. I was working on that for so long to get it lined up properly the way I wanted to. So I feel I can charge a little bit more for that canvas as well. And so the difficulty of it. And then connected to that is also the subject. What are you painting? Is it something known? maybe people in your area know what you're painting here, something people can relate to, that might dictate the price of it. Is it something you think maybe they want to buy? I'll give you an example. I've done a lot of paintings of Louis Armstrong because I live in New Orleans. Most tourists, when they come to New Orleans, they want something kind of New Orleans style. So, oh, Louis Armstrong. So I know those paintings are probably going to sell, so I can charge a little bit more for them. And it's a subject that just about everybody knows who Louis Armstrong is. So if I did a painting of some obscure jazz musician, I might not be able to charge as much because it'd have to be, a little bit cheaper on the price. So that can govern the price of the painting. Hey, you did a painting of Gordon Ramsay. Everybody knows who that is, so that might help you sell it. So selecting the perfect price, that's so important when you're beginning in art and even if you've been doing it a long time. So those are our prices. So think about that and please subscribe.